Hey guys, welcome back. This is your boy Gamelander here. Today we're here to discuss She-Hulk episode 6 and 7 review. So yes, that's it here, 6 and 7. Last week I took a break from She-Hulk because of the show's not good. The show's not good. I didn't want to review it last week because to be honest, it was getting on top of my nerves. It was really annoying, so I stopped watching it and decided I was going to do like a 2-for-1 review this week. I may do a review next week. I may do a 2-for-1 again the following week. I don't know, but I think I'm going to do a review next week, so look out for that on spot, same time, same place. But yeah, let's jump into the review for this week. So, well, this week, last week, let's talk about episode 6 first, then we'll get to episode 7. Oh my god, I don't remember anything by episode 7. But, however, in episode 6, it was the wedding scene. And to be honest, with that episode, I will say the CGI for She-Hulk looked a bit better to me. I think they improved slightly on the CGI for She-Hulk for that episode in particular. I don't know how, why, but they did improve slightly for that episode. It was really interesting though. Then again, it was short-lived because it wasn't a long thing. The She-Hulk character wasn't really in there a lot. It was mostly Jen, really. So she was mostly in a human form as Jen, so it wasn't a lot of She-Hulk. So I guess that's why it's a bit better, because there's not a lot of She-Hulk in the scene in this episode. The She-Hulk was a bit at the beginning and a bit at the end, and that's basically She-Hulk, like the amount of She-Hulk you got in the episode. But let's just talk about the story for a bit for episode 6. I think in terms of the story-wise, I think Jen narcissism is starting to show a bit. I would say narcissism, because at the end of the day it was always been showing, but I think this episode in particular, it's a more egregious one, whereas she's heading to a wedding, a friend's wedding, and she basically go with the intent to basically show up the friend, the one that's getting married. And she said it was a friend, so it wasn't like anybody, she has to get back at her or anything like that for something. Because even if it was somebody you have to get back at, how about you just not go to the wedding, be an adult? But either way, she said this person was a friend. She went to the wedding as She-Hulk, grabbing all the attention, whatever, and then feel surprised when the lady said, I wanted you here as Jen, not She-Hulk, can you keep that in the bag, and stuff of that kind. And my main gripes with this show is they have the main character don't dress well. She always look kind of, she has money, but her clothes always look kind of like a cheap person's clothing, where it's loose and all this business, but you can clearly see she has money, because everywhere in the show they show you that she has money based on the fact that the job she works, not even all that where she rents and all that business. She kind of have a middle-class lifestyle finances, so she can afford fitted clothes. So it's kind of funny that they are very reluctant to give the character fitted clothing, and it's just weird to me, right? And this is the one that they're trying to stay consistent with the switching between She-Hulk and Jen, because She-Hulk, the clothing was well fitted, but then as Jen, femininely fitted too, but then it was like a nice dress. It was a very nice dress, but as Jen, it's big. So the only time they decide to stay consistent in terms of what happens when you kind of transform what happens to the clothing, this is the whole time that they kind of try to stay consistent. And it's kind of weird now, because all along you were showing that you didn't care about consistency. Episode 1 is show a bit of consistency when she blew up as Jen, the clothes tear, but now there's no consistency after that point, and you just didn't care, and now you suddenly care about consistency once again in a very inopportune time to make Jen as a standout just look weird, because she was kind of looking weird in the big dress when she got back to Jen form, but it wasn't that it was right. And So yeah, the friend told her to basically keep She-Hulk in a bag, basically not be in She-Hulk form at her wedding, which is justifiable. And to be honest, after that point, there was a lot of meaningless scene because the end of before the wedding even commenced, there was a scene where she was walking around, and I think it was meeting people, catching up with people, and this young lady come to her and ask her, "Oh, have you been married?" and stuff of that kind. And is there some? Do you have a boyfriend or something? Are you seeing anyone or something like that? And to be honest, they throw these questions as something as you should look at it like a hindrance, like on a whatever. But to be honest, that's a typical question someone will ask, even depending on your circle you're running, obviously. But even as a guy, you still get kind of asked, like, especially even if you're trying to get a girl, they still kind of ask, why are you single, on this kind of thing. Or even if you're meeting up with people that you already have, or even meeting up people, for example, your female friends, or if like your grandparents or whatever, they gotta ask this question, are you seeing anyone, whatever, because it's just how some people are. They make it seem like it is bad thing, and probably it's, I don't know, probably if you hear it every day, you kind of get annoying. So I guess, but based on what the show has shown, Jen doesn't hear that a lot. She heard it. She doesn't hear it a lot, to be honest, and it's just kind of weird that they're trying to make a big deal out of it when she doesn't hear a lot based on the show premise itself. And I don't know, the show as a whole is just weird like that, and I can't get behind it. It's just a poor show. Like it's a poor man's like Marvel these days has not been good, and this show is the epitome of horrible and stuff. Alright, so end up Jen meet this guy at the wedding, they chat up, and I should probably stop, but the talk about the scene where, alright, so before she meet I didn't know when this happened, to be honest. But anyway, Jen meets a guy, and he's like a very nice guy, Asian guy. They chat for a bit, and she seemed to really like him, and they got a thing going on. I think that scene was okay for what it was. I don't see really what the merit is. But I guess it's just her finding someone to accept her for her, and I think that was the most interesting takeaway for that scene. I think that was the overarching thing that Jen got out of this episode, really, was that she found someone that was reasonably interested in her, not just the She-Hulk form, but just her as Jen. Which he wasn't a bad guy, and it means he was treated with a lot of respect. That I have to say, and it's kind of weird too how, I don't know if it's a race thing, the reason why they allow him to be treated with some form of respect, or they heard the feedback of the fans so they adjusted it, or is just something that they always plan, just to meet this one guy here, whatever, and they hit it off. I don't know, it just seems weird that an Asian guy is the first guy that she actually meet, from my recollection, in terms of a dating aspect or even a social aspect, that is treated, that has interested in Jen and been treated with respect. This is the only guy who hasn't been treated that way, to be honest, with some form of respect, and it's just kind of funny about that. But all in all, like, oh yeah, and then Jen had a basically started drinking, getting drunk. Surprisingly, she got drunk, but when she was drinking with the Hulk, and I think that she probably was drinking a lot with the Hulk, she didn't got drunk at that point in time, but she got drunk now. Anyway, she went outside to vomit, then she got attacked by Titanium. Yeah, I said that name right? Titania. I think it's that Titania. And she got attacked by Titania, and they had a brawl going on. Like, it was the dialogue was dumb, the fight was stupid. the reason behind it was stupid. It didn't make any sense. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't fun. It wasn't anything, to be honest. It was just a dumb thing that happened, and I don't know, like this is not a good look for women leading a movie or a series. And I'm a big fan of Jessica Jones character from Netflix, from the Netflix version of Marvel branch. I thought that was really cool. I like Jessica Jones, like the first season, the second season, even the season that I didn't like was still tolerable in Jessica Jones. And once I got into the season, even if I didn't like how it starts, once I got into the season, it picked up really well. But this series, it started off bad or okay-ish, and it just continues to go downhill at each episode. There's nothing of flavor in this episode. Oh yeah, in the last part they had like this thing where it seems like it's a government institution or whatever, but that wasn't even important to me. I didn't even see the sense or importance of that. But this series just feels like a pointless thing that is not gonna add anything to anything, really. And I don't see what it adds. And that's the thing, I don't understand nor see what this series adds. It just seems like a lot of fluff to me, like things that doesn't really matter. And this episode 6 is a clear state of that. The Titania thing is stupid. She going and attacking people is stupid. She should be arrested. And I think you're playing up the comedy just in this. You're playing up logic. You're removing logic to try to be comedic, and it's stupid. Oh yeah, and they had a sideline with this guy that can kill himself and revive and whatever. That was by numbers is stupid. I didn't care. I didn't give a damn about that sideline story. Yeah, it's a very bad show. Let's talk about episode 7. There's nothing to say about episode 7. Episode 7, I don't know what happened in episode 7. I watched it. For the life of you, I can't tell you what happened in episode 7, even though I've watched it. And it's that bad. I can't tell you guys. Like, I'm trying to, even at my worst, trying to remember what happened in this thing. I can't remember. It's terrible, man. Like, this show should never have been made. This show should never have been made. I don't know why they thought this was cool to make and stuff. That's weird. Okay, so I can't remember what going on episode 7. Episode 7 started out with Jem meeting the guy that she liked, and then going on dates, having fun, all that kind of stuff. A guy that actually like her or whatever. And then some drama happened with that. She goes on a side that there was talking. What came on the previous episode of a side that was talking bad about her. She goes on that side and basically talk about trolls and all that kind of stuff. And the CGI did look better again this episode, for episode 7. It wasn't bad like it was before. It's a bit better. It's too perfect, I can't say, but it's still better than how it was. And then Jen basically, she's not hearing from the guy that she met from the previous episode at the wedding, and is like the guy should not have a life or whatever. And I guess probably he wasn't communicating for too long or something. Well, one thing I can say though, like, there was a neat transition between looking at the phone to a TV that was really cool. I really like that transition. Like this series has been shot with competence. It's just the writing is awful. I must say that. There was some competence with how how this series has been shot in general. It's just the editing, the writing is poor and nonsensical. but the overarching, I guess, visual aspect of, and the CGI is bad too. Yeah, that's also bad too. I don't know what else happened in this episode per se. I may have to rewatch it to truly understand or whatever. Oh yeah, she meet up back with Emil Blonsky character, the Abomination character, and basically went to therapy. God. Oh my God, the Abomination does a therapy. Oh my God. Yeah, she basically went to therapy. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. The animation for the She-Hulk character seemed a bit more tamed. It seems more realistic, I guess. So yeah, CGI team had more time to work this time around. There's still a bit of issue with lighting, but if the story was better, you could have forgiven it. Let's put it like that. If the story was a lot better, you could have forgotten that you could have forgotten about the CGI if the story was a lot better. But the story's got awful and the CGI is bad, so there is no forgiving. Yeah, there is really no forgiving. I wonder what came out of it. I don't know what really happened per se, but she left therapy with her car and stuff, and the Abomination character is just obliterated. I don't know, they can't fix his character. It's done for, really. It's poorly done, poorly executed. It's awful. And it turned out the guys that she likes have some nefarious purpose of why he likes her, because he end up copying stuff from her device, basically. Which, I guess, based on what I said previously, like him being treated a bit better because of him being Asian or whatever, first got you the respect, just becomes like not true and stupid. So no guy get treated with respect in this series. It's obvious now. That's stupid of me to think. I'm still kind of I'm not excited to see Daredevil. I'm still kind of like not wanting to see him because no guy in this series get treated with respect, and I just don't want him to mess up Daredevil. I really don't. So I took a photo of her, basically with the flash on. Took a photo of her sleeping and sent it to somebody. I don't know who per se, but probably people. And then he laughed and then walk away. So that was that. I just don't know. This show is bad, guys. Like, people will defend the show, and probably some females like the show. You can like what you like, but I don't know. This show is awful, and I don't think the She-Hulk character will be liked by the masses. I think they have drastically ruined the character, and this is a character that I've been told that was liked in the comics, but the show has drastically ruined the character. The character will not be. I'm predicting that the character would not be liked by people in general, guys in particular. This version of She-Hulk is not. It's not happening. It's not working. It's not. She's not fun. Jennifer Walters isn't interesting. Tatiana Maslany is cute, but being cute is not gonna carry a show. Especially with certain things come out of your mouth is so vile. Not the actress, but the character. there's certain thing come up with the character of She-Hulk mouth that is really, and every female character in this show, there's certain things, the views on men are really awful views. And if a guy had those horrendous views on a woman, I would say the same thing. Like, if there's a show made by a guy that was disrespecting women left, side, center without show, and just think every show with a guy, right, even saying that this woman is bad, whatever, shows a woman that's being better than most, and it kind of equals it out basically. And normally there's something within that guy he needs to improve also. So it's not necessarily, oh, he's perfect, but this show is painting She-Hulk as perfect, the female characters as characters that cannot do no wrong. And I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like that. I think it's a dumb way to go about it, and just a dumb way in particular. But I don't know, like, if you enjoy the show, have fun with it, but this is not a show that I enjoyed. It's barely going anywhere. There's something kind of happening, but it's not interesting. Just guys sleeping with her and hinting at something nefarious, but nothing really happens. And it's just dumb, stupid, pointless. I don't see how she's gonna be of any value to the MCU, but then again, I don't know. I think I'm gonna rewatch the three Iron Man movies. Those are really cool, and those are like the only movies for the MCU I really rewatch consistently. The Thor movies wasn't that bad in my opinion. Like the first two wasn't that bad. 3, you can call Ragnarok, wasn't that bad, but I don't think I connect with Thor on the same level that I have connected with Iron Man. I think only person to a degree I had connected with to a level before the sad passing of Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther, and it's only because the character of Black Panther kind of remind me of Superman in a sense. In a way, same as kind of Captain America reminded me of Superman in a way. I think Black Panther was more of a darker version. You can see that he's intrinsically good and he would do the right thing, but his loyalties to his nation, not just, which is the same thing for Captain America anyway. So yeah, his loyalty is to his nation, but on the surface level, but he's also loyal to people. I think it's the same for Black Panther. I think that's why those two characters, it kind of works for me. But the movies on a whole are not really interesting enough, neither of them. But as characters, Captain America and Black Panther really connected with me, but the movies were not good. But I think the Iron Man movies connect deeper to things that I go through in life and understand more than being earnestly good. And I think that's the same reason why I like Batman over, like, I like Superman too, but I still prefer a Batman story over Superman story, because I know it's gonna be a more darker tone and more realistical, not really realistical, but because Superman does take a realistical theme, but more darker realistical themes. But I don't know, this She-Hulk isn't good. Like, subscribe, leave a comment on the video. Let me know your thoughts on She-Hulk. Have you been enjoying it? Do you want to see her more in the MCU? And without further ado, see you guys next one. Peace.